everyone, and welcome back to a new video on my channel. I hope y'all are doing fine. I hope y'all are doing alright. So today we are going to learn a language together again, and we are going to learn some French together again. I already made such a video in French, so this is going to be the second part. And I also already made a video in French about vocabulary, like about names of different animals. And yet today we are going to continue with this book by Assimil. It's called French with Ease, and this is the German edition, because German is my native language. And yeah, we are just going to go over the text now, and I'm going to read it first. Then I'm going to translate it into English, and then we are going to do some exercises, and yeah, so let's get started. So, real quick, I also say this in almost every video. Whenever I use these Assimil books, I really use them by myself. I can really recommend them to you. This is no paid advertisement. Like, I always use them in almost every single video because I actually bought them. I actually use them on my own by myself for learning different languages. And yeah, I already started learning French in school, but I only learned a bit, and then later on I got this book. And I think in the last video we stopped at the 4th lesson, because this was like the second part to the 3rd lesson, the text. And there are always 7 lessons, so ideally you could do 1 lesson every single day, and then at the end of the week you have the 7th lesson, which is a repetition lesson. And so we are going to do the 5th, the 6th and the 7th, and maybe even the 8th lesson today, just as an example. So yeah, let's get started. And the last video was in a soft-spoken voice, this is why I'm whispering today. So we have 5e leçon, the 5th lesson, 5e leçon. Une conversation téléphonique. Bonjour, est-ce que Monsieur Legrand est là, s'il vous plaît? Non, il est absent pour le moment. Ah bon, est-ce qu'il est là cet après-midi? Oui, il arrive à 3 heures. Merci beaucoup, mademoiselle. De rien, monsieur. Des idées toutes faites. Les Français aiment les histoires romantiques, mais les Anglais préfèrent les histoires drôles. Et des dictons. Les bons contes font les bons amis. Une hirondelle ne fait pas le printemps. Alright, this was the text, and now we are going to translate it. And also in these books, normally, like, you have one side with the French text or with the text in the language you're learning, and then the other side is in the language you're learning from. So in my case, in German, this is why we can't really use this in the videos, because most of you speak English and not German, obviously, since this is like an international channel, so to say. I always make videos in English and not in German. So we have 5e leçon, so the 5th lesson. Une conversation téléphonique. Conversation on the telephone. Like, yeah, this is how I would translate it. Bonjour means good day, or like good morning, like just, yeah, good day. Est-ce que Monsieur Legrand est là? Est-ce que is like a question particle, so is it that Mr. Legrand is there? S'il vous plaît is please. So is he there? Non, il est absent pour le moment. No, he is absent, not there, for the moment. So right now he's not there. Ah bon. So like, oh really? Or like, alright, or like, oh really? I would translate like this. Est-ce qu'il est là cet après-midi? Is it that he is there this afternoon? So is he there this afternoon? Will he be there in the afternoon? Oui, yes. Il arrive à 3 heures. He arrives at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, at 3 p.m. Merci beaucoup, mademoiselle. Thanks a lot, miss, not Mrs. Mr. is monsieur, Mrs. is madame, and Miss is mademoiselle. De rien, monsieur. De rien is you're welcome. You're welcome, mister. Des idées toutes faites. This is ideas ideas completely made. How do I translate this into English? I think they are talking about some prejudice, some stereotypes about different, like about the French and about the English people. Yeah, until today I don't know how to translate this. Also not into German. Like in this book they also have like the German translation, and this is a bit, I don't know, strange, the translation. So let's just ignore this one. And I think I marked this because, yeah, I wanted to remember this kind of saying. And whenever you see something marked in green, this is like a useful phrase. Or like this, also this is a saying, but like over here, these are like useful phrases, you know? Like when I started learning French, or like when I started learning it again, I was just like, okay, il est absent pour le moment is a useful phrase, and so I thought, let's mark this. So now we have les Français, and it's les, not le. Les Français, multiple French people. Le Français would be actually the language le Français, but les Français is the French. Les Français aiment les histoires romantiques. The French people love the histories, the romantic histories. So like, not histories, the stories. So the French love the romantic stories. Mais les Anglais préfèrent les histoires drôles. But the English people prefer the funny stories. So French people like romantic stories and English people like funny stories. And since this is like a stereotype, yeah, des idées toutes faites. Can you translate this as stereotypes? Maybe, I don't know. Et des dictons. And the, yeah, sayings. Now this means sayings. Les bons comptes font les bons amis. The good, how do you say this in English? Bank accounts. The good bank accounts make good friends. So yeah, good bank accounts or good accounts make good friends. Maybe not just bank accounts, but good accounts make good friends. Une hirondelle ne fait pas le printemps. Now I need to look up the word for this bird. This bird, like one of these birds, doesn't make the spring happen. Let me just see how you call this one bird. Alright, so the bird is called martin or swallow. Okay. But yeah, this is the bird I'm talking about. It's like a, yeah, quite tiny bird who always in Europe, like in winter, this bird flies to Africa and then comes back to Europe. And in France, they already come back in spring, I guess. And in Germany, where I live, they come back a bit later. Or at least where I live, like especially in this place where I live in Germany. I live in northern Germany. And here they come back a bit later. But yes, so this bird, swallow, I really hope, is it, like I think you write swallow in the same way, so it's a swallow, apparently. Never heard of this, like I never heard that this is, like a bird is called like this, but alright. So, a swallow doesn't make the spring. So how can you translate this so it makes sense? One swallow doesn't mean that it's spring now. And so I think if you would, like, what the meaning of this is like, just because you did one thing doesn't mean that now you've accomplished everything. So now we have the first exercise, and I already did the second exercise. I need to delete all of this because we want to do it again. Alright, here we have the first exercise, and they also always have like some over here some explanations about, yeah, what certain sayings mean, or yeah, just some grammar explanations. But we won't talk a lot about grammar today. We will just go over the texts and just translate them and just, yeah, do these exercises. So the first sentence is: Les Anglais aiment les histoires drôles. English people love the stories, the funny stories. Est-ce que Monsieur Legrand est là, s'il vous plaît? Is Mr. Legrand there, please? So is he there, please? Can you, like if you talk on the phone with someone, can you pass the phone to him, or like can you ask him something for me? Merci beaucoup, mademoiselle. De rien, monsieur. Thanks a lot, miss. De rien. You're welcome, mister. Est-ce qu'il arrive à 3 heures? Does he arrive at 3 o'clock? Les Français préfèrent les histoires romantiques. The French people prefer the romantic stories. Now we've got the second exercise, which is a fill in the blanks exercise. You can already see me wearing this glove for the entirety of the video. And yeah, this is to not get any like now I do have a tablet with palm protection, but I don't want to smear on the screen, so to say. Now we have the good accounts make good friends. Les bons comptes make, they make, font, make the good friends. Les bons amis make les bons amis. Make the good friends. Now we've got a swallow, so the bird. One swallow doesn't make the spring. Une hirondelle ne make, ne fait pas le printemps. The spring, le printemps. The French cigarettes are strong. Les cigarettes françaises sont fortes. You aren't an Englishman, Mr. Legrand. And then he answers, no, I am French. Vous, and this is vous, so you, the formal you. Vous n'êtes pas. Vous n'êtes pas anglais, Monsieur Legrand. Non, je suis français. Vous n'êtes pas anglais, Monsieur Legrand. Non, je suis français. Alright, and here we also have the solutions. Alright, so now we can move on to the 6th lesson. 6e leçon, the 6th lesson. Les achats. Les achats is the purchases. The purchases. So if you buy something, you purchase something. The purchases, the things you buy. Bonjour, Monsieur Lefebvre. Comment ça va? Bien, merci. Et vous? Ça va, merci. Est-ce que vous avez du beurre? Oui, bien sûr. Alors, une plaquette de beurre. Est-ce que vous avez du fromage italien? Du parmesan? Non, je n'ai pas de fromage italien. Dommage. Eh bien, donnez-moi du fromage ordinaire. Mais, Monsieur Lefebvre, nous n'avons pas de fromage ordinaire en France. Nous avons un fromage pour chaque jour de l'année. Alors, donnez-moi le fromage d'aujourd'hui. Alright, let's translate it. So, 6e leçon, the 6th lesson. Les achats, the purchases, as I said. And now we have bonjour again. Bonjour, Monsieur Lefebvre. Good day or good morning, Mr. Lefebvre. Comment ça va? How's it going? Bien, merci. Et vous? Good, thank you. And you? Ça va, merci. It's alright. So like, alright. It's going, you know, it's going well. thank you. This is how it translates. It's going well, thank you. Est-ce que vous avez du beurre? And in this lesson they talk about when to use du beurre and de beurre. So over here, like, this is a grammar aspect, but if you want to have something from something, so you would like to ask, do you have something from the butter? Beurre is butter. So do you have a bit of butter? Do you have different, like, he could mean anything. He could talk about, do you have butter in general? Like, this is normally what you ask. Or do you have different sorts of butter, and so on. And if you ask for something specific, so une plaquette, then it's de beurre. I would like to have one package of butter. And then again, if you ask, do you have du fromage italien? Do you have something from fromage is cheese? Do you have some Italian cheese? Then it's du. So do you have something, like, in general, do you have this? And if you talk about this more specifically, so if you would like to, or if you say no, then you also say pas de beurre, not pas du beurre, but pas de beurre. And yeah, but if you would like to say j'ai un kilo, okay, un kilo, c'est trop. But if you would like to say I have 1 kilogram of butter or of cheese, you can say j'ai 1 kilo de fromage italien, de, not du. So if it's about a specific amount, then you say de. If it's negative, so you don't have something, pas de again. And only if you say, and it's a male noun also, otherwise you say de la. So you say du beurre, du fromage, like, do you have something from it? And then if you want to say no, I don't have this, then you say de again, pas de beurre, pas de fromage. And if you talk about une plaquette de beurre, you say de again. And for female nouns, I don't know if they have this here as well. Yeah, bière. So bière is beer. Est-ce que vous voulez de la bière? De la is like du, but for female nouns. So you say, est-ce que vous avez du beurre? Do you have some butter? Do you have some butter? Est-ce que vous avez de la bière? Do you have some beer? And if you say j'ai pas de fromage, then you say de. J'ai pas de bière, then you don't say de la. And yeah, this is basically how it works. So you don't need to remember all of this. This is just, I had problems with this for years. Well, not for years, but for months when I first learned French. And now it's not really hard anymore, but I used to have some problems with this, like with remembering this. Est-ce que vous avez du beurre? Do you have some butter? Oui, bien sûr. Yes, of course. Alors, une plaquette de beurre. Alright, one tiny package of butter. Est-ce que vous avez du fromage italien? Do you have some Italian cheese? Du parmesan. Parmesan, so like something from the parmesan, or like different sorts of the parmesan. Non, je n'ai pas de fromage italien. So if you mean this one, no, I don't have Italian cheese. Dommage. Dommage is what a pity. I always say it like this. I think we already had this in the last video. What a pity, that's sad. Eh bien, donnez-moi du fromage ordinaire. Alright, well is a good translation. Well, give me ordinary cheese. Mais Monsieur Lefebvre, nous n'avons pas de fromage ordinaire en France. But Mr. Lefebvre, we don't have ordinary cheese in France. Nous avons un fromage pour chaque jour de l'année. We have one cheese for every day of the year. Jour, day, l'année, the year. So yeah, but like this is true in France there are a lot of different cheese types, I would say. Alors, donnez-moi le fromage d'aujourd'hui. Alright, then, like if you have one cheese for every single day of the year. Alright, then give me the cheese of today. If you have so many. If you have so many, give me the cheese of today. Alright, give me the cheese of today. Now we have the exercise again. And then we will fill in the blanks again. So the first sentence is Je n'ai pas de café aujourd'hui. I don't have coffee today. Bonjour monsieur, comment ça va? Good day or good morning, mister. How is it going? How are you doing? Bien, merci, et vous? Good, oh well, thank you, and you? Donnez-moi du fromage et de la bière. Give me some cheese and some beer. This is also good, like you can, like in English I think you also have a similar situation, like if you say some, like the situation with some and any and like, or someone, anyone, no one, with the some, any and no situation. I also remember something from school, maybe this is like similar with du and de and something like this. Alright, those of you who know grammar will probably be like, yeah, she's right, or no, what is she talking about? But this is not important what I'm talking about right now. I just want to clarify this in my head as I'm going over this. So, donnez-moi du fromage et de la bière. Give me some cheese and some beer. Est-ce que vous avez des cigarettes anglaises? Do you have English cigarettes? Alright, let's fill in the blanks. We have no ordinary cheese in France. Nous n'avons. We don't have. N'avons. Pas de fromage, because it's a negation, it's the negative. Pas de fromage ordinaire en France. Would you like some beer? Yes, of course. Est-ce que vous voulez de la bière? Something of the beer, some beer. Would you like some beer? De la bière. Est-ce que vous voulez de la bière? Oui, bien sûr. Give me some butter, some cheese, and some noodles, please. Donnez-moi du beurre. Now we have it always like this with the some. Du beurre, du fromage, et des pâtes, s'il vous plaît. Pâtes, noodles, et des pâtes, s'il vous plaît. Je n'ai pas de cigarette, because it's the negative. Pas de cigarette. Pas de cigarette. I don't have any English cigarettes. Well, then give me a cigar. Je n'ai pas de cigarette anglaise. The English cigarettes. Anglaise. Eh bien. Alright, eh bien. Donnez-moi un cigare. A cigar. Do you have English cheese? So different English. Not English, Italian. Do you have Italian cheese? Different Italian cheeses, different variants of Italian cheese. Do you have Italian cheese? Est-ce que vous avez des fromages, some fromage italien? Italien. Est-ce que vous avez des fromages italiens? Alright, there we have the solutions again. And now we can move on to the 7th lesson, and I can show you what I talked about. Like, this is the repetition lesson. So here we have some repetition, and yeah, they talk about the nouns, about adjectives, and about irregular verbs. And that's it, or verbs in general, then irregular verbs. But yes, so basically we have some male nouns over here. Le métro, or un métro. Le, the metro, un métro, a metro. So it's a metro station. Le pont, the bridge, un pont, a bridge. Le chapeau, the hat, un chapeau, a hat. Le croissant, the croissant, un croissant, a croissant. Le briquet, the lighter, un briquet, a lighter. So a fire lighter. Le fromage, the cheese, un fromage, a cheese. And now the feminine nouns. La bière, the beer, une bière, a beer. La cigarette, the cigarette, une cigarette, a cigarette. La voiture, the car, une voiture, a car. La tartine, a piece of bread with something on it. Une tartine, a piece of bread with some topping. La fontaine, the fountain, une fontaine, a fountain. And then, yeah, the adjectives. Bon, bonne, good, chaud, chaude, warm, cher, cher, expensive. Droit, droite, straight, straight to the front, as an example. Gentil, gentil, friendly, jolie, jolie, pretty. And then sometimes it sounds the same, so as an example with cher and jolie, but it's written slightly differently, so you have an E at the end, and also here an E at the end, and then this accent. Then we have the verbs. Parler, to speak. Je parle, vous parlez. Fumer, to smoke. Je fume, vous fumez. And this book is really, like, not really old, but a bit older. Like, smoking was really important back then. Like, in all of these books that I have by Assimil, and almost all of these books, they talk about smoking. Like, I feel like whenever these books were first published, before 2000, then they talk about smoking a lot, or at least a bit. Arriver, to arrive. J'arrive, vous arrivez. Alright, and then we have, yeah, the irregular verbs, which is être. Être is to be, and avoir is to have. Je suis de Londres. I am from London. Tu es gentil. You are nice. Nous sommes touristes. Whereas il and elle is also a, but with an T at the end. Il est gentil. He is nice. Nous sommes touristes. We are tourists. Vous êtes français. You are French. Ils sont anglais. They are English. And now, avoir. J'ai du fromage. I have some cheese. Tu as is you have. Il or elle a is he or she has. Nous avons is we have. Vous avez un briquet. You have. You multiple people have a lighter. And then ils ont. They have. Il fait un exercice. He does an exercise. Une hirondelle ne fait pas le printemps. one swallow the bird doesn't make the spring, doesn't bring spring. No, doesn't mean it's already spring. Alright, that was the 7th lesson. Now we can still do the 8th lesson. Maybe just a bit. And yeah, because I feel like the video is quite short. It's not that long already. So we can also still do the 8th lesson real quick. Alright, 8e leçon, the 8th lesson. Une visite. Bonjour mademoiselle, est-ce que votre père est à la maison? Non monsieur, il est au bureau. Vous voulez parler à ma mère? Non, ne la dérangez pas. À quelle heure est-ce qu'il rentre normalement? Oh, pas avant 8 heures. Vous voulez l'adresse de son bureau? Oui, s'il vous plaît. Attendez, je la cherche. Voilà, 7 rue Marbeuf, dans le 8e. Merci beaucoup, mademoiselle. Au revoir. De rien, monsieur. Au revoir. Alright, so 8e leçon, the 8th lesson. Une visite, a visit. Bonjour, mademoiselle. Est-ce que votre père est à la maison? Good morning or good day, miss. Is your father at home? Non, monsieur, il est au bureau. No, mister, he is at the office. Vous voulez parler à ma mère? Would you like to talk to my mother? Non, ne la dérangez pas. No, don't, how can I translate this? Don't interrupt her, maybe. Yeah, don't interrupt her. No, don't interrupt her. À quelle heure est-ce qu'il rentre normalement? At which hour, at which time? You can translate this, at which hour is it that he returns normally? So, at what time, at which time does he return normally? Oh, pas avant 8 heures. Oh, not before 8 o'clock. Vous voulez l'adresse de son bureau? Do you want or would you like the address of his office? Oui, s'il vous plaît. Yes, please. Attendez, je la cherche. Wait, I am looking for it. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to search for it. Voilà. Alright, 7 rue Marbeuf. The rue is street. The street Marbeuf. The set number, so house number 7 in the street Marbeuf. Dans le 8e arrondissement, in the 8th arrondissement in Paris, in the 8th, so like they're talking about Paris, they're in Paris, so in the 8th district of Paris. Merci beaucoup, mademoiselle. Au revoir. Thanks a lot, miss. See you, or like goodbye. Goodbye is good. De rien, monsieur. You're welcome, mister. Au revoir. Goodbye. Alright, and then we have again this understanding exercise. Est-ce que votre mère est à la maison? Is your mother at home? Ne la dérangez pas, s'il vous plaît. Don't interrupt her, please. Voilà l'adresse. Il habite dans le 6e. Alright, here's the address. Alright, the address. He lives in the 6th arrondissement, in the 6th district. Merci beaucoup, monsieur. Thanks a lot, mister. De rien, mademoiselle. You're welcome, miss. À quelle heure est-ce qu'il rentre? At what time does he return? Pas avant 8 heures. Not before 8 o'clock. And then we also have the fill in the blanks exercise, which I already did another time. My mother is at home and my father is at the office. Ma mère est à la maison et mon père est au bureau. So it's ma mère and mon père. For male nouns, my father, mon père. Ma mère, my mother. Would you like the address? Wait, I'm going to look for it. I'm looking for it. Well, I'm searching for it. Vous voulez l'adresse? Attendez, je la cherche. At what time does he return? À quelle heure est-ce qu'il rentre? I go to the cafe, then to the shop, and after that I return home. Well, I return. Maybe not to home, but I return. Je vais au café, puis au magasin, et après je rentre. Would you like to talk to my mother? No. No, don't interrupt her. Vous voulez parler à ma mère? Non, ne la dérangez pas. Alright. So, I think that's it for today. I really hope you could see everything in the video because, yeah, my camera setting was a bit different today. Like a bit too close to the screen and I didn't even notice this. Alright, so I hope you are already sleeping by now. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, I would really appreciate it if you would give it a like. And if you didn't like it, feel free to let me know why in the comments. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching until now if you're still watching. Of course, I hope you've already fallen asleep by now. And see you in the next video.